All right, guys, I get up this morning and I see that Tropic Thunder is actually trending on Twitter. Now, I'm thinking, all right, why is this movie trending on Twitter? It came out in 2008, 12 years ago. And, that Robert Downey Jr. was in that movie. He was playing Kirk Lazarus in that movie. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. is a white man. And in that movie, he was portraying a black man. Now, 2008, it was just comedy, and 2020 is a completely different world. 2020 is probably at the height of wokeness. And I believe that me and Rhodes actually had a live stream many months ago. And we had our top 10 movies that can never be made today. And on the list was Tropic Thunder, because, of course, people will be offended by Robert Downey Jr. playing a black man in that movie when he's not a black man. And of course, Soul Man was on there also. And Tropic Thunder is now a trending topic on Twitter. And people are calling for Robert Downey Jr.'s head right now for portraying a black man in that movie. Why SJW's outraged right now? I mean, they've had 12 years. Why right now? And I know that Robert Downey Jr. was on the Joe Rogan podcast months ago, not too many months ago, and he actually addressed his role in that movie. So let's kind of set the stage here, just a little bit of the background of Kirk Lazarus in the movie. Okay. Now, in the movie, also created by Ben Stiller, it's about Robert Downey Jr. The film revolves around the making of a Vietnam War movie with Downey playing Kirk Lazarus, an Australian actor who is so committed to method acting that he gets pigmentation alteration surgery in order to authentically portray a black sergeant. So in the movie, that's what happened with his character. Okay. Now, me, myself, being a black person and having many, many black friends, actually, none of us were ever offended by Robert Downey Jr. portraying a black man on screen. Personally, I think it's funny. If I can't get offended by black actors portraying white characters, how can I get offended by Robert Downey Jr. portraying a black man? I mean, this isn't the first time. Nobody's screaming at the Wayans brothers for portraying white girls. Two black men portraying white girls in white chicks. Nobody's ever complained about that. But the SJW's outraged over this. It's comedy. Probably most of the 80s comedy movies probably couldn't get made today. If Beverly Hills Cop was made today, they may accuse Eddie Murphy of being homophobic because he had that one scene where he was asking Victor Maitland in the buffet. And we saw that scene. I thought it was very funny. But anyway, getting back to Robert Downey Jr. in this role, he actually had this to say on the Joe Rogan podcast. Okay. And he actually said this. He says, "Gotta hold up to nature the insane, self-involved hypocrisy of artists and what they think they're allowed to do on occasion. Just my opinion. And 90% of my black friends were like, dude, that was great. I can't disagree with the other 10%, but I know where my heart lies. In my defense, Tropic Thunder is about how wrong blackface is, so I take exception. But why are people so outraged about this now? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. If we can't, talk about different things in comedy, make fun of different things, what can we do? What can we do? If you're going to go after Robert Downey Jr., then you got to go after several other actors too for doing similar things. I already mentioned White Chicks. That's one movie. Soul Man definitely would not get made today. Absolutely 100% won't get made today. And there was another movie also where it was a black man and he was actually an actor in a movie. And he was actually a black man, and he actually dressed up, I guess you can call it, in whiteface. And I can't remember the name of the movie, but it had Frank Langella in it. It came out in 1990, I believe. I can't remember the name. I wish that I knew it off the top of my head. If you guys remember the name of it, I thought it was a funny movie. A black man dressing up in whiteface to pass as white. And he even changed up his voice a little bit too, to make himself sound like a stereotypical white person. So I didn't take offense to that, but that was 1990. You know, people probably don't remember that. And of course, right now, Robert Downey Jr. is a huge actor in Hollywood because of the Avengers movies. And back in 2008, you know, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't at his height. You know, back in the 90s, he was actually doing really, really well. And then he had some personal problems. And then he got into the MCU, and that really blew up his career once again. But Tropic Thunder came out the same year that Iron Man came out in 2008. So stop being offended by things. I just don't get it. And there's some people actually coming to his defense, you know? This one person on Twitter says, asking Robert Downey Jr. to apologize for Tropic Thunder is like asking Leonardo DiCaprio to apologize for saying the N-word in Django Unchained. Absolutely 100%. Because Leonardo DiCaprio was portraying a character. That was not Leonardo DiCaprio. So Michael Fassbender, he's a great actor. He was fantastic in 300. And in 12 Years a Slave, he was also fantastic when he played Edwin Epps, the slave master that was very, very cruel and whipped his slaves. You saw what he did to Patsy in the movie. Should Michael Fassbender actually apologize for that? Should he actually apologize for his character? No. And for one thing, in that movie, Michael Fassbender was actually playing a historical figure in that movie. He absolutely should not apologize for that. But nobody's calling for his head. So we continue this trend of getting woke, and more woke. You get where we're going. You know, entertainment won't really have much of an entertainment value if we keep going the route that we're going. If we continue to let SJWs win the battle, our pop culture, our entertainment is just going to go downhill. We've already seen it with a lot of the most popular movies. You know, when it comes to your Star Wars, your Star Treks, them getting woke, the product has suffered. Because the Phantom Menace, what we do in the Phantom Menace, we actually call out all of this craziness that's going on out there in Hollywood. And you know that executives at Hollywood are probably looking at Twitter and they're saying, all right, people are very, very offended by this certain topic. So we're not even going to touch that anymore. We're going to make sure that everything is PC. We're going to pander to them. And that's what they've been doing. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's why our culture is suffering. That's how our pop culture is suffering right now. Because SJWs can bring up a movie that came out 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, nobody was really offended by it. I'm pretty sure there was probably a few people. And, you know, they want to cancel Robert Downey Jr. for this. Robert Downey Jr. canceled for Tropic Thunder. They want him to apologize for this? No. You're going to have to make a whole lot of actors apologize for their characters then. Leonardo DiCaprio for Django Unchained. That's just one instance right there. Probably a whole bunch of other movies also that I can't think of off the top of my head. Michael Fassbender, 12 Years a Slave. Pretty much just any bad guy in any movie, you know, because people get killed in movies. I guess they should want the actors to actually apologize for the characters that they killed in the movies. This is the trend in Hollywood. This is where we're going. Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, guys, what do you think of this? Robert Downey Jr. getting canceled because of him playing Kirk Lazarus in Tropic Thunder 12 years ago. Why? Why do you guys think this is happening? This is the death of any type of good entertainment, in my opinion. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.